Although Jim Lott retired from Brassfield and Gorrie in 2009, his presence is still felt in the company and the construction industry through the lasting impact he had on his colleagues and friends.
Jim was one that treated everybody fairly and upstanding. He was a role model for so many people. There's not going to be another Jim. I mean, they just don't make them like Jim.
Well, when I grew up in West End, and my father was a carpenter, and every summer during high school and college, I worked on construction projects. So it's pretty much the only thing I really ever knew was construction.
Quotes from Jim's incredible sense of humor, known as Lottisms, are recited regularly and chuckled over fondly at Brassfield and Gorrie. And many of his colleagues aspire to do business and inspire others the way he did.
I think one of the legacies of a great leader is developing talent and bringing people along behind you to show them how you do things, and he has always done that here. He's been a tremendous teacher. When you look at all the people that are currently working here that he mentored, that's truly an amazing legacy that he leaves.
You know, Dad he's lived and breathed construction all his life. You know, when he first got out of school and he went to work at Reeves Construction Company, after that he moved to Brassfield and Gorrie. He was fortunate enough to, Miller came calling and he said, sure, that'd be interesting. And I think it was a great opportunity for him because of the fact that it took him from having to do everything on jobs to he could stick to what he's really good at, which is dealing with the owners and the project management.
Referred to as Mr. Lott, Jim earned a level of respect, admiration, and influence achieved through years of proven integrity, expertise, and servant leadership.
Jim is one of those people that's always been easy to work with for a couple of reasons. Number one, he has high integrity. Number two, he does what he says he's going to do.
A lot in the construction industry, people didn't really get along as well as you'd like for them to. I mean, working's supposed to be fun. If you're doing it, for several years and not having fun, it's a job. And my philosophy was the way I like to deal with people is for us to be a team. They don't work for me, they work with me.
Jim devoted his career to the construction industry. He spent more than 20 years with Reeves Construction and became a partner before he was recruited to Brassfield and Gorrie by Miller Gorrie.
If he was a tool, you want him to be the crane. That's the man, that's to carry the job, to supply the job. The crane is there from the beginning to the end. And when you get something from the beginning to the end, a person like Mr. Lott, it's gonna be a great job.
Whenever I'd come in contact with the people that knew who Dad was, everybody always talked about, what a good guy he was and how good he was to work for, and how he always kept his word. And if he told you something, he meant it. But if he told you he was going to do something, he always did it.
In his more than 28 years with B&G, Jim made significant contributions in the commercial, healthcare, and retail markets. And he served as longtime vice president and operations manager for the Alabama Retail Division. He was responsible for establishing strong relationships with many key clients.
He became the most sought-after project manager by division managers or whoever had a tough job. Jim was the first guy on the list because of his ability and his character.
He just has an uncanny ability to kind of make 1 + 1 = 3, and I just have always appreciated that trait in him.
Jim never let a challenge compromise his integrity. He excelled in negotiating hard deals and managing difficult circumstances with a unique mixture of composure, kindness, thoughtfulness, and firmness.
I always appreciated the way in which he conducted his business.
Whether it's a personal relationship or a business relationship, there has to be trust. And so usually we're on the project on the owner's behalf to make sure that the contractor is doing what they're supposed to. But when you're dealing with somebody that has a high level of integrity and they do what they're going to do, it makes our job a lot easier.
His care for others motivated them to perform at their best and exceed his expectations.
He's the kind of person that beyond work, here's what I can do for you, not what you can do for me. And number one, he's fair to all his subs, everybody working on it. And that's what makes things go better. When you got somebody like Mr. Lott, it's fair to everybody, and you can't ask for no more. So you really can't say enough good about Mr. Lott.
Jim was among the first group of employees to receive Brassfield & Gorey's highest honor, the Founders Award, and he was honored by the American Subcontractor Association with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
He quickly demonstrated the abilities that he had that made him a sought-after project manager if you had a tough job. Jim was your number one choice.
Through the company's success and the many lives Jim influenced, his legacy will strengthen the industry for years to come.
Mr. Lott has a career of involvement in our industry. I always knew of Mr. Lott even before he was with our company. He had a long and successful career with Reeves prior to us, and I can't think of anybody in this community that does not know, in our business, that does not know and respect Mr. Jim Lott.
Jim and his family love Auburn football and have held the same seats at Jordan-Hare Stadium since 1960. He often says, "I may miss kickoff, but I'll be in my seats by the time he catches it at the other end."
Section 30, row 33, seats 7, 8, 9, and 10. You don't need the tickets, you know where to go.
Jim and his wife Joyce have raised 3 fine children, Jim III, Alan, and Debbie, and they have 7 grandchildren.
He has been a great dad always, and a great husband, just always putting us first.
Well, when you think of Mr. Lott, you have to think of his family. He loves Miss Lott and the Sugar Babies dance team. We hear about that all the time, and it's just wonderful that he is so supportive of everything she has done over the years. But not only Miss Lott, but the children. Alan and Jimmy and Debbie have all been just at the forefront of his to-do list. He always has time for his kids, and they have always just been so close. And I've always had tremendous respect for the way he approaches both his family life and he balances with his work life.
We have 3 children who are all smart kids. People ask me that, how did you get such smart children? They all have at least a master's degree and one's a doctor. Where'd they get all their smarts? And I said, well, they must have got them from me because I don't have any left, so that's where they got them.
Upon retirement, he chose to use his vast experience and abilities for the benefit of his church, Canterbury Methodist, and has continued there to this day.
When he retired, he said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. And I just thought it was wonderful that shortly after his retirement, he was up and running and helping lead the church in their facilities area. And he's just been such a servant leader his whole life.
He had a moral character that was unquestioned, and he had a strong religious faith. He was very active in the Canterbury United Methodist Church, and nothing fake about it. You just knew that was Jim, and he was just a fine person any way you look at it.
One of the most important lessons I feel like that my dad has taught me and that continues to teach our grandkids is, it really doesn't matter what you want to do, as long as you're the best at it. You can be the CEO of a big company or you can be a trash collector. And as long as you do your best, then you can just do anything you want.
Jim, it's been a pleasure knowing you and working with you all these years, and you're certainly well deserving of this honor.
And I can't think of a better person to be receiving this honor, which is a great honor coming from a great organization.
You really have led the way for your family and for those of us that work at Brassfield & Gorey in so many wonderful ways. Your life is a testament to what a Hall of Fame award should be all about.